Museums often have collections of skeletons of animals too. Plants and animal specimens may also be preserved as a dry specimens. Insects are preserved in insect boxes after collecting, killing, and winning. The body of the fungus is filamentous and it is called a mycelium. Mycelium vivum fluidum was proposed by M.W. Beijering. Members of the kingdom, fungi and simple plants such as algae reproduce through special asexual reproductive structures. The most common structures of these are zoospores. About 90% of total photosynthesis in the world is caused by algae. Lichen is used in making a litmus solution. Filiform apparatus is found in synergids. A particular species of the plant produce light, non-sticky pollen in large numbers. Stigmas are all long and feathery. These modifications facilitate pollination by wind. In conifers, fibers are likely to be absent in secondary xylem. The mature seeds of plants such as gram and peas possess no endosperm because endosperm gets used up by the developing embryo during seed development. How many different types of gametes can be formed by F1 progeny resulting from the following cross: A, capital BB, capital CC into small baby in small cc. Answer is 8. Henking in 1891 observed a specific nuclear structure in 50% of sperms. He named this structure as X body. Extranuclear genes occurs in mitochondria and inherited by a female. The prokaryotic genetic system contains DNA but no histones. Plasmodesmata take parts in synchronized mitotic division. Regarding lysosome, true statements are lysosomes contain hydrolytic enzymes like lipase, protease, and carbohydrates. And hydrolytic enzymes are capable of digesting carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids, and also known as a suicidal bag. The important food fish is katla. Hormones used for inducing lactation in a sterile cow is stibestrol. Key features of meiosis are: meiosis involves two sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division called meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is initiated after the parental chromosomes have replicated to produce identical sister chromatids at S phase. Meiosis involves pairing of homologous chromosomes and recombination between them, and four haploid cells are formed at the end of meiosis 2. Two closely related species competing for the same resources cannot coexist indefinitely, and the competitive inferior one will be eliminated eventually, called competitive exclusion. Which one of the following has the largest population in food chain? Primary consumers, secondary consumers, decomposers, and producers. In among them, answer is producers. Waxman got Nobel Prize for the discovery of streptomycin. Brazil has the highest biodiversity. Ozone saves the biosphere by absorbing the high energy radiation called ultraviolet rays UV. Water potential is equal to solute potential is related to atmospheric pressure. Magnesium is a constituent of the ring structure of chlorophyll and helps to maintain the ribosome structure. Which two minerals are not needed by the majority of plants but very much needed by almost all animals: sodium and iodine. During photosynthesis, the oxygen in glucose comes from carbon dioxide. How many ATP are used in glycolysis? 2. The substances which have proved very effective to induce protein from the cut and of the stem is indole butyric acid. Human beings are grouped in which order? Primata. Mumps is a viral disease. Zygotes undergo reduction division immediately and produce a multicellular sporophyte. The sporophyte is a free living and not depends on gametophyte. These two statements are wrong regarding bryophytes. Germpore is the region where the sporopollen is absent. Lycopersicum esculentum belongs to family Solanaceae. The monosomic condition in human beings depicted as XO is referred to as Turner's syndrome. The inducer is not a part of a transcription unit in DNA. Reserve material in prokaryotic cells are stored in the cytoplasm in the form of inclusion bodies. Plant yielding medicine for checking eye is Atropha belladonna. Krebs cycle is both catabolic and anabolic as it provides a number of intermediates. The organism which helps in the fermentation of Swiss cheese is yeast. Deforestation is responsible for co-extinction. Matching potassium readily immobilization. Which one of the following organism helps in the absorption of phosphorus from the soil by plants? Glomus. Plants adapted to low light intensity have large photosynthetic unit size than the sun plants. Symmetry in which any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into identical halves is found in echinoderms, coelenterans and ctenophores. Match the animal with its common name. Mixin hagfish. Megakaryocytes form platelets. The process by which small electrolytes are absorbed, simple diffusion. Bile can be prevented to pass into duodenum by sphincter of Oddi. The main region of the alimentary canal in which digested food is absorbed, small intestine. What are the functions that are performed by the nasal cavity when air passes through it? Air is warmed, air is humidified, and dust particles in air is filtered. The breathing rate per minute in humans during sleep is approximately 10. Workers in grinding and stone breaking industries may suffer from lung fibrosis. In sperm, mitochondria occurs in middle piece. Menstrual cycle in the human female is completed in 28 days. The emergency contraceptives used to avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or unprotected intercourse is a combination of progesterone and estrogen within 72 hours. Intensely lactating mothers do not generally conceive due to suppression of gonadotropins. Lichens are used as an atmospheric pollution indicator. Miller in his experiment used three gases in ratio 2:1:2. These gases are CH4 and H3H2. Vasa recta or blood capillaries are around the loop of Henle. Reabsorption of glucose from the glomerular filtrate in the kidney tubule is carried out by active transport. The refractory period of muscle fiber in man is 0.002 seconds. The reactions which change lactic acid into glycogen come under co-recycle. Gliding joint between carpals. Organ of Corti is found in internal ear. A person having Parkinson's disease shows defective action of which neurotransmitter in dopamine. Name a peptide hormone that acts mainly on hepatocytes, adipocytes and enhances cellular glucose uptake and utilization. Answer is insulin. PTH is secreted during decreased blood calcium level. RBC in the body die after about 120 days. How much blood is pumped by the human heart in a minute? 5 to 7 liters. K vitamin is necessary for blood clotting. The use of living organisms or their substances in industrial process is called biotechnology. The role of DNA ligase in the construction of a recombinant DNA molecule is formation of the phosphodiester bond between two DNA fragments. In RNAi, genes are silenced using dsRNA. An American company got rights through the US Patent and Trademark Office by claiming a new variety of basmati by crossbreeding Indian basmati with semi-dwarf varieties. The endocrine gland of insects, which secretes the juvenile hormone, is Corpora allata. The squamous epithelium is made of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. They are found in the walls of blood vessels and sacs of lungs. The cuboidal epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cells found in the ducts of glands and a nephron of kidney. Stomach in vertebrates is the chief site for digestion of proteins. Chloride is shift for the transport of carbon dioxide. Inner cell mass contain certain cells that contain cells called stem cells, which have the potency to give rise to all the tissue and organs. Variations during mutations of meiotic recombinations are random and directionless. What is the average amount of urine produced by a human in a day? 1.4 liters. Pivot joint is a movable joint present between the atlas and axis. Sensation of stomach pain is due to interoceptors. Neurohyphosis secretes vasopressin and oxytocin. Glucagon converts glycogen to glucose. The cells involved in inflammatory reactions are basophils. There is a restriction endonuclease called E. coli. What does co-part in it stand for? Coli. Crystals of Bt toxin produced by some bacteria do not kill the bacteria themselves because toxin is inactive.